Know the workplace. The workplace is a harsh and inhospitable environment, much like a jungle or swamp, and similarly is fraught with perils, such as suicidal boredom or sexual harassment. In the workplace, people gather to perform monotonous tasks and do the bidding of their employer, all the while under the watchful eye of their manager. But what is a manager? Managers were once human, but have long since divested themselves of all human emotion. Managers are created via an unholy ritual called promotion. This is a lengthy process and involves the removal of the human soul and the replacement of the blood with spiders and wasps. They sit atop thrones fashioned from the spines of lesser workers and are sustained entirely by their own sense of self-importance. They spend their time guarding the gate to pay rises, challenging those who approach with dynamic, cost-effective riddles, whilst keeping an eye for inappropriate laughter or frivolity in the workplace. It is possible, however, to fool the manager into thinking you are working when in fact you are not. This enterprising young fellow has outsmarted his manager by placing a box over his workstation. That's foxed him. Many employees avoid the wrath of a manager by simply not turning up to work. Feigning illness is a good way to avoid the workplace, though it is advisable to choose made-up illnesses which have no visible symptoms, such as HIV or depression of the mind. To gain admittance to the workplace, everybody must take part in an ancient custom known as an interview. This process involves dressing smartly and answering a series of questions. Here are a few simple tips to ensure success at an interview. Always make sure that you dress smartly. Make eye contact with your interviewer. Keep quiet about any previous convictions, and refrain from offering personal opinions. This kind of free-thinking anarchy is neither invited nor welcomed in the modern workplace. Following a successful interview, you will be issued with a contract. A contract is a piece of paper which legally binds you to the will of your employer and stops you from having troublesome ideas and thoughts of your own. Any attempt to do so within the workplace will result in disciplinary action. Disciplinary action is an attempt by your employer to strip you of your job and therefore your value to society. This will result in your transformation into an unemployed person, and you will be forced to take drugs to escape the undemanding routine of your effortless life. You will never be alone in the workplace, as it is populated with a rich variety of stereotypical characters, such as the nosy receptionist or the schizophrenic cleaner. The correct scientific term for these characters is colleagues. You are contractually obliged to get on with these people, and forming a close working bond with colleagues is actively encouraged. But beware! It is forbidden to say anything at any time to anyone that you work with. The slightest faux pas can lead to disciplinary action. This is especially true of women who may have found their way into the building. When dealing with a female colleague, it is important to avoid the following phrases. Number 1. Your hair has the subtle smell of autumnal berries. Number 2. Excuse me for a moment, my passions have been roused. Number 3. I enjoy the feel of oriental hair. Or number 4. Bowies. But for those who wish to work, it can be a rewarding endeavor. Many get through the day by composing positive mantras, such as, I work to live, not live to work, and this keeps them going through unpaid overtime late at night. For those who do a job well, there are often rewards, such as more work, or even different types of work. But remember, not all workplaces are boring. Here's Antipodean singer and funny man Rolf Harris providing quality assurance for a gentleman's periodical. And this lucky fellow works in space. So, now you can confidently claim that you know the workplace.